And it has to be up and down high. It can't be sideways.
I don't know if it could be sideways.
No, no.
Up and down's probably better. Okay, we're live. We are joined this hour by Rosemary Soto Rodriguez, who is an actor, a director, a filmmaker, activist, organizer, just all around really, really incredible person. We met years ago. During the production of The Silver Dollar, put on by Teatro Urbano. But I want to start a little bit earlier than that. I want to start, Rosemary. Can you tell us exactly what Teatro Urbano was and how it got formed?
Okay. Well, Teatro Urbano was formed before I joined. I joined in like around 73, 72. But we come out of the whole teatro movement, which was created by Luis Valdez and Teatro Campesino. And after that, my husband, actually, Rene Rodriguez, actually got the name from Daniel Valdez because he was going to start a teatro, but he wasn't in the urban area. And he goes, hey, you're in the urban area. You guys could, this name would work. So there is how the name Teatro Urbano started. Then my husband used to do plays out here in Los Angeles, in the parks, wherever there was a need to spread the word and to capture an audience, because a lot of our work was on Saturdays at Hollenbeck Park. And we would perform out there for the people. And after that, my husband started writing scripts, and he came up with this one play called Beto's Dream, which dealt with the whole thing of gangs. And then The Silver Dollar came along. And so out of the need of having to try to explain to people what the Silver Dollar and the whole significance of the Chicano movement, he came up with the idea of the Silver Dollar.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about so when you started doing the plays in Hollenbeck Park before you started producing your own plays, what plays were you offering the public? It
was mainly street plays. We used to do one called Who's to Blame? It was a short acto. At that time, there was a big boycott against the Farah factory workers. So the play kind of dealt with workers who gathered together to form a union and to strike and struggle for changes.
Yeah. Can you tell us
and we would do that bilingually because, Hollenbeck, a lot of Latino, Mexicano speaking people. So we would cross over back and forth.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. So the strike begins at this factory, and then there was the troupe wrote an acto. I mean, based on the factory strike. Is that what happened?
Yes, because we knew that back then, the people that were to blame, who's to blame, were the big corporations. At that time is Rockefeller, DuPont, and oh my God, I can't remember the other guy. But these were the powerful billionaires of the time.
Wow.
So that's why we felt it was important to show who is to blame for the economy and the way we were dealing with things.
So I'm just trying to get the dynamics of this. So for our audience, not everyone's familiar with everything because it's it's gonna be a wide array of people. So not everyone's familiar with Teatro Campesino. Can you mention to us? Can you explain to the audience, expand a little bit about who Teatro Campesino was and why the legacy of Teatro Campesino looms so large?
Well, Campesino influenced all of us because they took on the struggle of the farm workers, and they did this. They did the same thing that we did as far as taking the messages out to other farm workers, and doing different actos. Now, Luis was influenced a lot by the Carpas and the Teatro Rascuachi of Mexico. So he brought that back and kind of opened the doors for us to follow that same system at that time.
Yeah. So can you walk us through, like, okay, so let's say there's a social incident. There's a let's say there's like shooting or something like this, right? Or there's
Uh-huh.
some type of incident. There's a rent strike. There's a slumlord. There's something like that. And then we're gonna write an acto. How does it start? How does the whole process begin?
Okay, say we're going to do something in immigration. And if it was going to be an acto, we would all sit together and throw out ideas. And then after that, we would improvise them and try out different forms of trying to put something together. But it was really very fast. It was something that a lot of the other teatros used to do too. And like, again, we call Luis the godfather of Chicano Teatro, because he's the one that was our teacher, our mentor. And I guess he still continues to be that. Hello?
We talked sorry about that. I muted myself. We talked broadly about the influence of Luis Valdez as a, this really important figure. But could you speak specifically as to how you and Renee, your husband, were influenced by him, and kind of what you took from his example?
Well, we were influenced in our own way, because I was attending Cal State Long Beach, and I was with a teatro called Teatro Popular de la Vida y Muerte. And we kind of did the same thing, except we were students at the time. And so, we followed a lot of the same things that Campesino did. And then Renee also, he was almost going to go join. He blames it on me, but he was going to join Campesino right before we met. And he blames it on me that the reason he didn't go was because of me. Well, yeah. So I wonder what kind of history that would have been. But after that, when I joined the group, we continued doing a lot of the acto type of things. And I don't know, we moved on to doing more of the plays that were written, and like the Silver Dollar, it's only a one-act play, which is, it seems like it's longer. I know it's 45 minutes, but it still follows a beginning and end, and I mean a beginning, a middle, and an end, compared to when we used to do the actos. The actos were more running into the streets and blah 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 blah, come and join us, and yeah. we had to be that way, because audiences wouldn't want to listen to you.
So what politicized you? I mean, like, because obviously you're using your art as like a political tool. So how did you get involved in politics? How did you get involved in kind of the struggle?
Okay, I come out of the student union. I mean, the student movement. I started at Rio Hondo, joined Mecha, was involved in going to the moratorium during that time, and involved as a student against the grapes with Safeway and police brutality and other issues that were going on. Renee was also dealing with that. I mean, we both had our picks, and our main thing was to try to educate and get our word across about, again, the situation in the communities.
Yeah. So
But we were politicized already on our own, and then we joined together and really was involved in a lot of other movements. I mean, as far as organizations and everything besides just the teatro.
can you tell our audience a little bit about Mecha or how you yeah, for just background information, what this is early days of Mecha. So what was Mecha like at that time period?
Probably the same like today. I mean, we didn't have a bunch of students that would get involved. I mean, we had the same struggles of trying to get members. Although when I attended Rio Hondo, there was it was just the beginning of Latinos going to school or Chicanos going to school, because before that, no one went. So it was a new movement of students getting educated, and then of us forming an organization that was trying to politicize other students. So we worked really close with Cal State Long Beach, and aligned ourselves. In fact, we went with the coalition of Cal State Long Beach to the march. So the only difference I think it is that the student today is a little bit more intelligent, I would say, than us, because it was something new. We were always pushed away from getting an education. So,
yeah. So you mentioned the moratorium. Could you explain to our audience a little bit of what the Chicano moratorium was, what brought it about, and what your experience with it was?
Well, the Chicano moratorium was a fight against the Vietnam War. It was a big old march that was called by different forces, such as, I think a committee was formed, was the National Chicano Moratorium Committee. And the focus was to organize and bring as many people as we were able to, which was like, I want to say between 15 to 20,000. I know that we always get less numbers, like 10,000, but it was packed. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful event, very peaceful. We were all united, fighting for better education against, we were against the migra, police brutality. So a lot of things haven't changed, but I think kids are now starting to at least see the importance of getting an education.
Yeah.
So we're going to be celebrating. I don't know if you want me to get into now.
Well, we'll get into a minute, but I wanted to kind of transition into Silver Dollar. But so what happened there at the moratorium?
Well, after a peaceful march and a gathering of all the people at the park at which is now Salazar, was called Laguna Park, some individuals were at the liquor store and caused problems, and the police came and started, and that's how we know that they were placed there to disrupt our meeting, our function. And they came in and they beat us all up with their belly sticks and tear gassed everybody. Actually, 3 individuals died, which one of them was Ruben Salazar at the Silver Dollar Bar. Besides him, there was Lynn Ward from El Monte, and my gosh, my mind just froze on the other 2 individuals that died. Angel Diaz and one more. But yeah, Ruben had just, he was reporting the march. He went into the Silver Dollar to freshen up and have a beer. and he was with his partner, Guillermo. So they were just in there having a beer when all of a sudden the police came in and started saying that there was someone that they were, a sniper that they were trying to get a hold of, get. And before you know it, they shot into the bar with a projectile, which was supposed to kill Ruben coming from the front. I mean, actually it shows that he was shot in the front, but they say that he was shot from the back. The projectile came in through the back door. So we celebrate, and we have the longest Chicano play, the Silver Dollar. We celebrate it every August 29th, and by performing it. And we've had different actors do different roles. Now we're working on a docudrama of the Silver Dollar, which we're on hold because our editor, well, he can't come in, but it's like everything else, it's on hold.
Yeah. Well, can you tell us a little bit about what year did the Silver Dollar debut?
It debuted 1974.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we used to have our own little theater in El Sereno on Huntington Drive. And I'm looking at a poster that Leo Limon, I don't know if you're familiar with Leo Limon, the artist. But
tell our audience about Leo Limon.
Huh?
You tell us about Leo Limon.
Oh, he's one of the best Chicano artists around. But he had done a poster of, not I could even show it. So we ran it in our little theater for quite a bit of time. And then we would perform it in different areas. Can you see it?
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So besides doing it in our little place, we would, my God, we toured that thing all over the place up to Mexico City. We were invited. So we worked quite a bit going all over the place. That was an experience.
Yeah. How was it received in Mexico?
Very well. There was a festival they brought in some Chicano plays, and they were very, very, very excited with our presence and seeing the work that we were doing over here. It was a great exchange.
Yeah, that sounds really beautiful. I mean, oftentimes we kind of feel like we're not going to be well received in Mexico when we present, things.
No,
that's usually just in our heads, you know what I mean? Because 9 times out of 10, it's really well received.
Yeah, well, it depends too. I mean, the student movement at that time over there was very open and very politicized. Yeah. They were fighting for their own, and which they continue, for their own issues. So, yeah. But a lot of our theaters went.
So can you tell us a little about the spot that you had in El Sereno? What was that like? What was where was that at? And
it was on Huntington Drive. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Right by, I don't know if you're familiar with El Sereno. But
am I familiar with El Sereno? Was it over by the Charlie's Trio?
No. That's the second place we had. This one was closer to going towards the library. Huh? It's now, it became a torteria. Does it have an address right there?
Is it over by where the McDonald's is?
No, it's before. It's by Poplar. right past Poplar, going towards Eastern.
Yeah. Like where the gas
And before the gas station.
is. Okay, so it's where Samia's. I mean, it's where.
Yes,
Yes.
right by there, right
Okay,
by
yeah.
there.
Yeah, over by Hecho Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at our location, while you witnessed a peña. We used to have peñas. Every a peña is an exchange of art with other artists and political people from the community, where we talk about different issues and we're entertained by our different artists, you know. We had a peña where Los Alacranes, I don't know if you're familiar with Chunky Ramon Sanchez, Los Lobos, and Los Perros. Those guys used to play at our location. Like if, you know, like nothing. It was just a great experience and time. And they would come and just jam. They had a place to come and jam. And that was our main purpose of having the location. Unfortunately, because like many of us, we don't have the business expertise, we didn't know how to manage.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I used to tell Corazón del Pueblo. You have to make $1 every time you open that door.
Yeah.
Or else you're not gonna last. And that was our mistake.
Yeah.
Then we moved down to down the street to the East Side Cafe.
East Side Cafe, yeah.
Yeah, that was our another location that we had. And we did the same thing because the first one became a tortilleria. We used to sell tortillas. We got replaced.
Those are good tortillas, though.
They were good tortillas. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the silver dollar.
Yeah.
So I remember. So when we met was a revival of the silver dollar at Corazón del Pueblo. Can you tell us a little bit
Correct.
what it was like to bring the silver dollar to Corazón del Pueblo?
Well, we were working on the, I'm trying to think which year the moratorium, was it? It's 10 years ago. So it was the 40th anniversary, I believe, of the moratorium.
He was he.
And so we were looking for a location to do the silver dollar. And I just happened to meet Leon. And I started talking to him about the possibility of doing the silver dollar there, and he agreed, and the rest is history. We were doing it there for a couple years.
Yeah, those were beautiful productions. I mean, they were really quite amazing. I mean, the way they set up the door with the curtain. I mean, they really
Yeah.
kind of a full out theatrical thing.
Right.
That's part of what Teatro Urbano is known for, which is to like turn these settings into the part of the play, right?
Correct. That's why we're not limited in where we could perform. I mean, we did the show at the Daw, and you seen how we converted that into the silver dollar.
Yeah. Well, that leads me to the next question. So most recently, the silver dollar was performed at the Daw Center for the Arts, just last year. How did you? This is kind of a weird question. How did you find working with the Daw Center for the Arts?
Okay, I'm sorry. I have dogs and they were doing real good. Now, okay. Now with the Daw, I'm a member of the Latino-Latina Roundtable. And we had just finished doing Detective Sanchez, another play that my husband wrote. We were performing it at right next to Corazon because they had closed. So it was called a little location called Teatro para Todos. Suzanne Leoneras was running the little theater. And so we did Detective Sanchez there. People down here were like asking us, how can we have a play down in the Inland Empire? How can you guys come down? So I thought, and I go, okay. I don't remember how I ended up meeting Margaret. I don't know if it was through the round table. I believe it had to be the round table. We had some kind of activity. And so I talked to Margaret, and I asked her about the possibility of doing the play there. And we did it downstairs in the basement. Worked out great. We were booked completely. That's how hungry people are to see a play here. Now, we were planning on bringing Sanchez like around November. My son is directing it and casting. But we don't know yet what's going to happen.
Right.
But yeah, we did it downstairs in the basement.
Now that was Detective Sanchez, but like, what about the Silver Dollar?
Okay, so that we did that. We already knew Margaret. And we already did the Sanchez. So with the Silver Dollar, I had been talking to her about the moratorium and what we were doing and everything, and about the Silver Dollar. And she goes, "Well, can you guys do it here?" And I go, "We could do it anywhere." So that's how that happened. And she is just a great person. She opens her arms and allows people to express their talents there. You know, we're so lucky we have her. And she always gets her crap done.
Yeah. What about that other guy there over at the dock?
Which other guy?
I don't know, the guy in charge of the writing programs.
Oh, I don't know. I know they have this flaky guy there. He doesn't know how to tell time. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
No, you've been a big asset, really big, with the DAW and everybody, because you've politicked, you have added something more to the DAW that I'm glad you're there. Do you ever rest?
Now and again, well, you know, I take naps between the interviews sometimes, but that's about it.
You don't know what resting is, huh?
How long? Well, you know, so I kind of feel like people talk about a captive audience. Right now, I don't know if I have a captive audience, but what I do have is a captive interview base. You know, I mean, I have a captive. I have people who are stuck at home, so might as well interview them.
Yeah.
But the other one, yeah. So, but the other one I want to mention or bring up was the fact that over at DAW we had Eddie paint out.
Oh, Eddie. Yes. Go ahead.
Can you talk about that? Can you talk about the entrance that we created for that?
Yes. How he painted the Silver Dollar. Yeah.
So we had an intern, or we had not actually an intern. We had an in-house artist, Eddie Del Rios, and he's God, how old is Eddie? Eddie's like,
how old is Eddie?
21, 22?
Is he about 21, 22?
I think so. Yeah.
He's a young guy. Yeah.
Yeah, young man. And he painted. We found images of the Silver Dollar, the original Silver Dollar, and he painted them on one of our movable walls, and we made that the entryway into the theater.
Right. And we're using it in the movie too, in the docudrama. We're using that as the entrance. Hey, you don't do a great piece of art and we don't exploit it. We have to. Yeah.
No, I'm sure Eddie. I'm sure you know Eddie. That's good on Eddie. I mean, that's good for him, and that's why man, he works so hard though. He works so hard, does so much.
Yeah, he does. I know. He does t-shirts, pins.
Yeah.
And then he's setting up the recording studio downstairs. Oh my God.
Yeah. No, him and Esteban, both of them.
Oh yeah, it's the bond too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a good crew. Good crew. And the lady that sells the cookies.
Maga, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Noemi,
her daughter sells the Scout cookies.
yeah, Maga. And Noemi, I mean, Noemi's gone on to do other things now, but Noemi was also a great piece of. I mean, the DAW is just really, I mean, and these people are all, everyone I'm describing is like, they're younger, they're younger people from the community there, so it's really just
Yeah.
a great thing. So okay, so the silver dollar, the different spaces, you this seems to be a returning theme in your life, the Chicano moratorium. You are part of the 50th anniversary committee.
Correct.
So can you tell us a little about the 50th?
And I'm proud of the work that my fellow members have been doing. Unfortunately, with this whole virus, we are going to have to cancel it to the 51st moratorium. But in the meantime, we're going to do still activities as far as letting people know. I think Abe is talking to Margaret about doing a virtual art show. We're going to probably be online doing poetries, skits of plays, music to keep the movement going, because we are disappointed that we have to postpone it, but safety is more important.
Yeah, no, absolutely, it absolutely is. But we can definitely, I mean, we have the Zoom channel here, and this connects live to Facebook, so our Zoom channel could definitely be, I don't know if the moratorium has something already, but
oh yes, definitely.
Yeah, we could definitely do this Zoom channel.
Oh, I was going to be hitting you up to do some poetry anyway, so.
All right, yeah. For those who don't know, this is the life of a working artist. Like I'm never not never not working. I mean, every day is casual. Always informal, but this is the way, we're working out a deal right now. So in the middle of an interview, a deal broke out.
Good.
So that sounds great. So the Chicano moratorium, the 50th is coming up. There was work still being done, and there's a lot of people can still look forward to. But can you tell, before everything shut down, what were some of the plans that the 50th?
Okay, well, we do have a website, the 50th Chicano moratorium. People could go on and they could see some of the things that's taking place. We just had a May Day caravan protest down Cesar Chavez and First Street Friday, which was interesting because we did it. Well, I didn't go, but they did it driving by, in protest. So some of the things that we were planning, we were going to have a big old concert with Los Lobos. And then we were, doing more the cultural activities. We were planning another peña. So hopefully all those activities will take place after things become back to I don't know, to whatever it was before.
Yeah, well, if they don't have a channel themselves, I mean, if there's no channel themselves, we can keep this channel clear, and on August 29th, we can do all day program. We can do like 10 hours of programming if you want.
And I believe LA Actors Theater, Evelina Fernandez, is going to be doing a play that night. It was a play that they were going to do, but it's called August 29th. And they're going to be showing that on the night of the play. I mean, of August 29th. And we don't know yet if we're going to try to do a caravan just to let people know that we're still active,
Yeah.
So we're still working on other activities. We just had a meeting Saturday to discuss it, and we're going to be having a general membership meeting. I believe it's the 30th, but it'll be posted.
All right. Well,
And we're not gonna meet in person, but we're gonna do probably a big old Zoom page.
all right. Well, I mean, I know some people involved. I mean, I can talk to them, but I'm just saying like right now that the offer's on the table. We can maybe not on the 29th, maybe on the 29th we can do like a caravan, but like on a different day before, or a couple days before or something like that. We can
Sure.
like we can definitely do like a moratorium marathon
Okay.
on the Zoom channel. They want to get involved.
That sounds good. Yeah. And I'll let everybody know at our next meeting, which is going to take place in a week and a half. And I'll let them know that you've made that offer and get back to you on how we'll handle that.
Okay.
Thank you, Matt.
No
That'd
problem.
be great.
Yeah, and this is for the world watching right now. That's how things get done.
That's right.
Hey,
Continue. They can't keep us home.
no, just because we're locked in doesn't mean we have to be locked out. So,
Yeah.
is there any like words of advice you have for anybody who wants to get involved and do things and be involved in the movement,
Okay.
arts, or
Okay, with Teatro Urbano, you could always contact the DAW. They'll know how to get a hold of us. We also have a Facebook page. The moratorium, again, we have the Facebook page of the 50th anniversary. And then if people want, they could already submit artwork or if poems onto that page, because it's open and it's running.
Yeah.
But I like your idea. That's great.
Well, yeah, so definitely connect with there.
And I'll give you my phone number. I don't know if people need to find out more information of the march and of the silver dollar. And then of course of the round table, I kind of left that out. But anyway, it's 909-286-7613.
Yeah. And for those who
again, what?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the number again. 909-286-7613.
So okay, yeah, you're right. We should just to briefly tell them about the Latino Roundtable, what it is, and how they can connect to that.
Okay, the Roundtable is an organization that works on issues out here in the Inland Empire. Concentrate a lot in Pomona because Pomona is the city that really, really needs it. So they work on a lot of workers. Jose Calderon is the president. Angela Sembrano, who's a very, very well-known activist, is the vice president. And then we have our annual fundraiser, which is the Cesar Chavez Breakfast. And I'm not sure yet what date we're gonna have that for this year, but they're, they're thinking September, but we don't know yet.
Yeah. Well, we will be able to connect and find out. So thank you, Rosemary, so much for your time.
Thank you, Matt.
And I'm sure we'll be talking soon and let everyone know what I offered. So.
Okay, thank you.
All right, cool. Talk soon.
Nice talking to you. Bye-bye.